that's going to be an epic pop from the crowd. And if he wins his title back, I mean, that's going to be insane.
Yeah, and especially when you go to a place like New Delhi where WWE honestly doesn't go that often.
Right.
And, all these wrestling fans in India, they don't ever get to see live WWE action. They're going to be excited and one way or the other. So it's going to be really cool to see what the WWE does. Because let me tell you something. These live shows they've been doing over the past couple of months, they've been doing some cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
These live shows have become almost must-see. And like I said, I'm very excited to see what they pull off. And, because they pulled off some cool stuff on the UK tour. I'm anxious to see what they pull off on this Indian tour.
Right. So let's go ahead and move over to Cheap Heat.
Well, one more thing for the rumor mill.
Oh, sorry.
The Shield. Of course, Roman Reigns coming back tomorrow. The New Day cost Rollins and Ambrose the title last week. It's basically all but official. Somebody said, I read online, they have DirecTV, and DirecTV put out the graphic of the Shield versus the New Day.
Really?
And WWE has not made this official or anything, so technically to me, this is still a rumor. But like I said, it's all but official. We're going to probably see the Shield versus the New Day at Survivor Series, and in my opinion, that could be the match of the night. I mean, AJ versus Brock. AJ versus Brock would be be hard to top, especially if they do it right, but I'm not so sure they're going to do it right. Like I said, there's rumors of Brock squashing AJ, so we'll see what happens with that. But I know for a fact the Shield versus the New Day will be an amazing match because the New Day, they've been putting on some great matches with whoever the Usos and all that. And then, Rollins and Ambrose, they put on some good matches with the Bar and some of the tag teams they faced. And, of course, Roman Reigns is Roman Reigns. He's the big dog, and, He's getting better at wrestling, too. He's still not the best wrestler, and he surely ain't the greatest promo guy. But you know what? When you have Rollins and Ambrose with you, you could say one thing, let them do the rest of the talking, and it works because the Shield together, man, I hope they just don't ever break them up again, man.
No.
I'm loving the fact that they're back, and this will be their first match back together. So I'm really looking forward to the Shield versus the New Day at Survivor Series.
Yeah, and you know what? If they never would have broke them up, I think organically they would have got what they wanted with Roman Reigns. Mm-hmm. Because not only would he have been shielded by the Shield, but, I mean, you can push him the way that you were pushing him, and it doesn't seem like... Well, like John Cena said, that you're a corporate-made bootleg of John Cena.
Yep.
And that, that the reason why you or who you are today is because you're being protected by management. They're giving you all the good bookings. You're corporately created. And I think if he had stayed with the Shield, it would have looked more organic, and they could have done more with it, and he probably would have been the biggest superstar in the world right now.
You don't think maybe, like hypothetically, the Shield stayed together through today, you don't think it would have, gotten old or anything like that? You don't see how that could have happened maybe?
I mean, is the New Day old?
No, the New Day's not old. Of course, when did the New Day form? They formed not long after the Shield, I don't think. I can't remember when the New Day formed. I want to say they formed maybe 2013, 2014, around there, probably a year or two after the Shield debuted. But no, the New Day's not old. Now, granted, the New Day, of course, they went along the same path because the New Day were heels for a little while, and then they started with the whole like the Bootios thing, and them with Xavier running around with the trumpet and everything, and they just organically got over, and now they're still over, but. I'm going to be very curious to see the crowd reaction when it's the New Day versus the Shield because both are very over right now, and that's another reason why I think this match will be very special because the crowd is going to be all into this match. Yeah,
and I think another point with the Shield, obviously all three guys are great singles competitors. And like we alluded to earlier, before they broke them up, they were winning their own single belts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They can do their own thing and then come back as a stable and do a thing and then do a thing as a tag team, and look dominant as all get out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was totally against the whole breaking up thing, and I know you were too.
Yeah, I was. And but at the same time, I think it made the fact that the Shield's back now so much better because all three of these guys went on to win the WWE Championship, which before they broke up, none of these guys were WWE champions. So now they have all been WWE champion. Roman Reigns has headlined the last 3 WrestleManias, and Dean Ambrose and Rollins have been more over now than they were back then. So I think now you got this new Shield, almost like a Shield 2.0, where they can be booked as twice, even 3 times the team that they were back in 2014 when they broke up. So I'm hoping that the Shield can stay together for a long time, because I feel like they can book them to be the most now they can really book them to be the most dominant force in all of wrestling, not just WWE, but all of wrestling.
Yeah. And, for a while, I've had, Sling TV, which doesn't have USA. So I haven't been able to keep up with the episodic part of WWE. How did they reconcile their differences? Like, how did they forgive Rollins for cheap shotting him with the chair?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay, Roman Reigns was, I think he kind of, Roman just kind of was like, it's whatever. We're cool we're cool. Like, now Ambrose, they had the whole storyline where, Ambrose Rollins had to earn Ambrose's trust, and week after week. And I mean, there was one promo Seth came out. Dude, this might be the best promo Seth had ever cut. He came out, was talking to Dean. He's like, you know what, Dean? I've never said this on air before, but you know what? I'm sorry. I was in a bad place, and I have to live with that every day. And, dude, he cut an amazing promo, and it seemed so genuine.
Yeah.
And that right there, I was like, wow, like that. I really felt like Rollins was like pouring his heart out to Dean Ambrose. And then they had the thing where, Rollins came out and put his fist out to Dean. Dean didn't accept it and walked out. The next week, Dean's getting beat up. Rollins comes out, helps him out. Dean goes to put the fist out, and then Rollins leaves. So I'm confused.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, they come out, and then they start fighting. And then, who were they feuding? They might have been feuding with Sheamus and Cesaro at the time. Sheamus and Cesaro come out. They start fighting, and then Rollins and Ambrose start beating them up, get rid of them, and the next thing they look at each other, and they just both boom at the same time, hit the fist with each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, the crowd erupted. It was one of the best opening segments, probably of the year for Monday Night Raw, and it was awesome. And then, eventually Roman Reigns was just kind of, because at first Seth and Dean were doing their own thing, and they mentioned on TV, Roman's doing his thing, but right now we're trying to take over the tag team division and stuff. And then it got to the point where it was like one Monday after, at the end of Raw, they, what was it? How did it go? I'm trying to remember. Apparently, Sheamus and Cesaro and the Miz, Taraj and all them, they were trying to screw over Rollins, screw over Ambrose, and screw over Reigns, but like all in different ways. So that kind of forced Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose to come together. And then, the next week, Shield was back, man.
Yeah.
And then, of course, unfortunately, Roman got sick, and they couldn't fight at TLC. But now, well, hopefully, they're all healthy.
Yeah.
Roman's coming back tomorrow night on Raw, and I'm excited about the Shield coming back tomorrow. I'm also excited about the possibility of them invading SmackDown, and then I'm just really excited about them going up against the New Day because, in my opinion, probably in the last decade, you have, I say the last decade, since 2010, the beginning of this decade, you have two of probably the biggest 3-man factions in WWE going at it, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and move over to Cheap Heat. Now, we alluded to one earlier. Let's save that one for last, too, so we can talk about it longer.
Okay.
With the Sami Zayn and KO.
Okay.
So this guy is getting a whole lot of heat from wrestling fans. And I got to say, wrestling fans are the best, man. They don't let anything go.
Absolutely not.
And wrestling fans cut the best social media promos.
Except me. See, like me, I'm the wrestling fan. I just, I could. Honestly, I'm not the one that's going to sit here and bash anything that. I mean, maybe now. Obviously, if somebody does something wrong, says something wrong, if somebody goes out and murders somebody, I'm like, oh, that was stupid. But as far as like any like on TV products, except maybe Jinder Mahal, I've been cutting him down. But I'm still, a while ago I was like, I would like to see him. I'm hoping that he can improve in the ring and become a better wrestler. But so I'm the wrestling fan that. I'm never going to really down the product because whether I down it or whether I, praise it, I'm going to watch next week regardless. So
yeah.
And I like the fact that we have social media now where these guys can, go back and forth, and I like that. I really do. So
yeah.
As you were.
I tell you what, on Twitter about 2 months ago, I got in the most epic thread that I've ever been in my life because I said something bad about Jinder Mahal, and it was on.
I remember you telling me about that.
From all sides. I mean, I think I came out better. But I mean, that's just my interpretation of it. They probably think differently, but I was giving them left, right, gut punch. Man, I was all over it. All right, here we go. P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean Combs, whatever he wants to call himself. Well, now he's calling himself something different. So he announced on Twitter on his birthday, his 48th birthday, he was changing his name once again. And
like his legal name? Or just
No. This is moniker that he goes by. Brother Love. Right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're a WWE fan, a wrestling fan, you know Brother Love, and it ain't Sean Combs.
No.
That is Bruce Pritchard.
Uh-huh.
And and the wrestling fans were all over Sean Combs. Listen to this. One guy said, I'm sorry, Diddy. I'm going to let you finish, but at Bruce Pritchard is the greatest Brother Love of all time. Another guy said, note to at Diddy. There will always only be one Brother Love at WWE. And then on that post that Sean was saying that he was changing his name to Brother Love, Bruce Pritchard tweeted him. He said, yo, find a new gimmick. I invented and perfected Brother Love. I'm the original and you are not. Remember North Carolina. Oh, man. So that's only a few tweets. The wrestling fans were all over Diddy. So I would imagine, as squirrely as this guy is about his names, we're going to see another name change here pretty soon because I know wrestling fans, and they are relentless. They're going to kill this dude every time he says Brother Love on social media.
Now, see, to me, like, I'm the kind of wrestling fan, because that right there, in my opinion, has no relevance to me or relevance of what's going on in WWE now. Now, that might be a little egotistical of him to call himself that. But, if he wants to call himself that, in my opinion, he's not hurting anybody. So let him call himself that because deep down, true wrestling fans, we know there's only one Brother Love. So, Diddy, call yourself whatever you want. I don't care.
That's not Diddy. It's Brother Love.
Brother Love, yeah. Call us a Brother Love. Call yourself whatever you want because it makes no difference to me because the only time I ever seen you on WWE television was when you performed at WrestleMania 29. He might have been on a couple of other times, but that was a memorable one at WrestleMania 29 when he performed. So I do give him credit because he's an avid wrestling fan and he's one of those big names that can promote wrestling. But obviously he poked some wrestling fans the wrong way, naming himself that. He didn't poke me the wrong way, but like I said, I could. Yeah. Now, like I said, I would rather somebody like Diddy, Brother Love, do that than go on like when Conor McGregor went on there and started bashing wrestlers. Like, don't go on and bash wrestlers because it's quote fake or scripted. I promise you, it's a lot harder for these guys to go into the ring and do a scripted fight than to have a real fight. I guarantee you it's much harder.
They do it day in and day out.
Not only that, but you have to be, not just anybody can go in the ring and do that. You have to have some serious athletic ability to go in there and do the things these guys do. So from my perspective, I'm okay with what Diddy did. But like I said, I'd rather him do something like that than go on social media and just bash pro wrestling because it's fake or scripted or something like that. So that's just my take.
And you know what? We can take Conor McGregor, and I love Conor.
I know, I love Conor too, but stick to what you know, brother.
Yeah, we can take Conor McGregor in a time machine and put him against some of the best shoot fighters of all time. Dr. Death.
Yep.
Scott Steiner. Bruiser Brody. These dudes would eat him up and chew him out.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't make any sense. Eat him up and spit him out, maybe.
There you go.
But, yeah, there's been some legit BA dudes that are in wrestling that could handle their own with said Conor McGregor.
Yeah, and, of course, I don't know if we talked about it on the Rumor Mill last week, but I listened to an interview Jim Ross did with Colin Cowherd on the show one day.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, could Conor McGregor make it in WWE? Jim Ross said he would be surprised if Conor McGregor never received a check from Vince McMahon for like some kind of one-off deal, maybe at a WrestleMania or something like that. So don't be surprised if maybe we see Conor McGregor doing some kind of WWE thing next February, next March or April at WrestleMania. So that's just kind of something to keep an eye on. And especially like I said, I love Conor McGregor in UFC. I was kind of hoping he'd beat Floyd Mayweather, even though I know he wasn't going to beat Floyd Mayweather. But I like Conor in UFC.